In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the Tech Zone.
Hello and welcome back to the Tech Zone. I am Paul Amadeus Lane. Thank you so much for staying tuned. A very, very important show. We're talking about how technology is really flexing its muscle when it comes to COVID-19 and how we're able to communicate with our loved ones, also making sure that our loved ones stay safe. You may ask, what do I mean by that? Or you may not ask, what do I mean by that? Think about the segment of the population that is most at risk, those over the age of 60. Some of them live in care facilities. In my last interview I just had before I went to the break, when I was talking to Steve Yule from the Consumer Technology Association Foundation, he talked about how some of the startups out there are really just coming to the rescue and helping us out. What if I told you that there's a technology that exists that can keep our over 60 years of age who may live in care facilities safe, that can track who has been in their room visiting them, so that ones can find out if they are infected by COVID-19 or maybe someone is asymptomatic, and the healthcare professionals will be able to find out. Well, friends, something like that does exist, and it is incredible. I'm so happy to have them join me right now on the show. And I'm so happy to have with me right now an individual I met at CES 2020. Enjoyed talking about them and their piece of innovation. And I wanted to have him back on because, as I talked about in the intro, this is truly amazing what they were able to accomplish in just a couple of weeks. I'm talking about Dr. Jerry Wilmink from CarePredict, Chief Business Officer. How you doing, Jerry? Great to see you again, my friend.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having us back on the show. It was great meeting you when we launched our home version at CES, and now we got some more exciting news. I think we're onto something that's really important, and the world has changed quite quickly over the past months.
Tell me about it. And Jerry, when we look at when we were all hanging out together back in January, it was like we're so optimistic about the way things are going, the way the world was heading when it comes to technology. But then lo and behold, COVID-19. And the scary thing about it was, Jerry, when we were in Las Vegas, COVID-19 was happening in certain parts of the world that we didn't even know about. So I'm glad that we're safe, and weren't personally affected by that. But for those who were affected by it, it seems like you guys over at CarePredict went right into action and put some incredible things in place. And Jerry, please explain that to us, my friend.
Yeah. So with COVID-19, what we've learned over the past, I guess couple months now, since the initial cases came into the United States in late January, in the Washington area, you've seen the news on the number of COVID-19 cases in senior living communities and skilled nursing facilities. And unfortunately, seniors are at the highest risk for really severe illness with COVID-19. And actually what the more recent studies from New England Journal of Medicine and also the CDC weekly reports have shown that seniors and other individuals can be asymptomatic or pre-symptomatic with COVID-19, and so basically be shedding this virus as they're out and about. And reports indicate that 25 to 50% of individuals that are innocently moving out and about, maybe a community or even in or outside, going to the grocery store, 25 to 50% of them that test positive could be actually shedding the virus and may have no symptoms at all. So this makes it incredibly insidious and difficult. And over the past, from March 23rd through the 30th, what we saw was 150 senior living communities in the U.S. had COVID-19 cases, and this jumped up to 400 in a week. And we're seeing the same things in Spain and in Canada. And it's very scary. And so the unfortunate truth is traditional contact tracing is the tool that's normally used. And what this is say you identify an individual that has COVID-19 or another infectious disease, you then create a list of all the contacts that that individual has made, that has been in contact with over the past, say, 14 days. You then test each of those individuals and screen them. Look for their symptoms, maybe do a COVID-19 test if you're able to. And the limitation of this is you're working with seniors, many of which are in a memory care community, and expecting their memory recall to be accurate for 14 days is, a tall order. And to be honest with you, I couldn't tell you, I'm 40 years old, and I couldn't tell you the past 14 days who I interfaced with, and the duration of time that I spent with those individuals. Mm-hmm. So that's really the challenge. And so what we did, we put together a quick 3-week sprint to develop the first automatic contact tracing for senior living. And offer this free, actually. We were working with our customers, and we realized we just need to create this tool set as quickly as possible and get it in their hands. And so our customers are currently using it now. And what it allows them to do is when they have a infectious disease, or in particular COVID-19, they can select that individual in our real-time location tracking software and then identify automatically all of the individuals and the duration and time that they spent with that infected individual. And then they can quarantine them, and ultimately this can stop the spread and keep these seniors safe in a community that they want to live in a time when everybody's pretty scared. So it's been really, obviously a dark and scary time, but this technology can help and keep our seniors safe, and the family members, give them peace of mind. So it's been, it's a novel coronavirus, and so every day we're learning more and more and more, and you see this even last week, for instance, or even 2 weeks ago. I was reading a lot about the transmission of COVID-19, of this virus, and I was shocked that we were not being advised to wear masks, because I was seeing the transmission rates were so high, from 25 to 50%, someone could have this virus, have no symptoms, and be transmitting it through the air. And that's and now in the last couple of days, you can see that they recommend, or if you're interested, you should wear a mask. But as you're at the grocery stores now, you see more people are wearing masks, because we're really trying to stop this and flatten the curve and really get back to our normal everyday life here in the United States. So things are changing super fast, and I think that it's exciting to see us come together as a nation and developing tools to fight this unexpected, insidious virus. We're at war. So it's exciting to see that we're coming together to fight this together.
Absolutely, and Jerry, you bring up a very good point. I grew up in the hood, so I've always been kind of skeptical just of a lot of things. So I started wearing masks at the early outset because I'm just a skeptical dude. But I'm so glad that people are doing that and really not waiting until a health organization say, hey, wear a mask, but looking at how things are going, like you were doing, looking at how things are being transmitted, like, hey, I need to put a mask on. And what I like most about this, Jerry, is the fact that in 3 weeks, man, you guys just sprint into action, if that's a word, and you guys created this. I mean, what were some of the internal discussions that you guys have, without revealing any confidential things out there? Who brought it up? Like, hey, we got to do this. We have to meet the challenge and come together and do this.
Yeah, our founder CEO has been in the health technology space. His name is Satish Mova, and our CTO and our COO are, been in the health space for many years. And a lot of the discussions that they had created this almost overnight, and then having the technology team out in Menlo Park and also in South Florida, we have 2 offices. They were just working around the clock, day and night, to get this thing together. And it's really exciting to see that, a solution can be developed, during such a dark and difficult time. When most people want to just kind of put their head down and go into a depression, which, honestly, everyone has their moments during this. We're quarantined and isolated, and and so to fight and get into the solution rather than kind of wallow in the problem, which is, I think, everyone's natural instinct. So I think it's I'm really honored to be on a member of such a team that we can help kind of fight this challenge together.
And you know what, Jerry, as I'm looking at just my mind just racing 100 miles a minute, this not only can be implemented in homes where seniors are, facilities, but I can see this like being a gold standard just for us to track, just even in our municipalities where we live at. And just the possibilities are endless. Have you guys even thought about that? How this can really transcend things of how we're tracking this virus?
Yeah, honestly, our key technology is the wearable device and the beacon technology, right? So our beacons are installed; they're wirelessly connected beacons, and as long as it's an indoor facility, and you install the beacons, and you have broadband Wi-Fi, and every individual is wearing this wearable device, or if there's an outside visitor, they would actually put one of these devices on, and it could work in any indoor facility. So whether it's a factory, a warehouse, a child daycare, there's a variety of different examples here. But the beauty of it is you're relying on the machine to remember how long you were with a particular individual over the past 14 days. I think that's been the challenge of traditional contact tracing, is all of us, our memories are limited. Remembering, that I spent 10 minutes with one individual on Tuesday and 20 minutes with this individual on a Wednesday at this location, it's almost impossible. So with this machine, you can get an accurate recount of all the rooms I was in, all the duration of time I spent with Larry, Mark, Susie, all digitized and automatic. And now you can really make sure that those contacts aren't missed. And this can be used in any type of indoor community setting. So we are looking, and we are getting an increasing number of calls and requests to use this for other applications, other spaces that we never had considered, even in the hotel industry and other places as well.
I love it. Using technology for the betterment of helping us out, and you guys are definitely on the right side of history. And thinking back to when you guys first started and being at CES and all these other things right now to where you guys are at today, just seeing just the growth of the company and the company to help us out. And I was thinking too, Jerry, for some of the ones who have to go to work and in an enclosed environment, I can see this working for that too. So in case like a worker has come down with COVID-19, God forbid, and now the employers, the companies can trace and track and keep people safe. The sky is the limit, Jerry. I'm like just blown away by what you guys have been able to accomplish in 3 weeks.
Thank you, Paul. Yeah, and the other countries that have done very well in terms of really kind of flattening the curve and getting back to normal life, they've done a lot more testing, and they've done a lot of accurate contact tracing and actually some surveillance. So what we're doing here with automatic contact tracing is, as the testing also increases, we can really flatten the curve quickly. And we're very excited about being a part of the solution here. And it's a really it's a mind-blowing time right now. We were not really anticipating this in the United States at this level, and I think we're responding as quickly as we can as a country.
And isn't it something, Jerry, when we were at CES, We were thinking about other things as far as you with CarePredict and this just the trajectory of the company, and just in a few short months, how the company is on a different trajectory that's definitely going to help save lives. You guys got to really feel like, wow, we can do this. We can help people out there and have that sense of accomplishment. Like, man, this is something huge that we're working on that can really save lives during this pandemic.
Exactly. Yeah, honored to be at a company that, at CarePredict, we get up every day, and every single one of us, we know that we're addressing a real problem. And now, providing predictive care to seniors, by looking at their activities and behaviors and making predictions on when they're at risk for, the earliest signs of a health decline, whether that's falls, depression, UTIs, things that we've normally focused on. Obviously now we've layered in a new application and tool set to accommodate other infectious diseases. But every day there's a purpose for us. This is a real problem, and I think remote monitoring in general and wearables as well will be used to provide the best care possible to seniors, because many times, as we're seeing right now, we can't be with those loved ones. My parents are up in Cleveland, Ohio right now, and my grandmother as well. I can't be there physically with them. And actually, it's not safe for us to be with them. And so when we need to be at a distance, we want to have that peace of mind that they are doing okay. So technologies like ours, we will see even a bigger place in the future. That way all of us can live more happily and with more peace of mind. So I think it's actually one of the benefits we're seeing already is we're seeing the importance of remote monitoring. Where instead of it looking like a luxury, it's actually it's going to be mainstream. And, if you have a condition right now, you don't want to go to the hospital. That's not the safest thing to do right now, right? Where you would rather get on the phone or get on a video chat or, with some other method besides going to that location, which is actually higher risk for you at this moment. So you can see telemedicine and remote monitoring are going to start becoming more mainstream now due to this pandemic.
Well said, my friend. Well said. You're spot on. Anything else out there that you like to articulate to the viewer or the listeners, or maybe give some info how ones can find out more if they want to implement this at their facilities?
Yeah, thank you, Paul. If you want to learn more, please go to CarePredict.com. And we will have someone from our sales team or our customer support team reach out to you, and I'd be happy to speak with you as well. But CarePredict, CarePredict.com, and you can learn more. Thank you so much, Paul. Really appreciate and enjoy the time to catch up with you, and I'm glad you're doing well and your family is doing well, and we'll get through this, and excited for when we do.
Absolutely, my friend, and same to you. May you and your family continue to be well. The great folks over at CarePredict too, and always great catching up with you. And please come back on whenever you have some more great breaking news about some of the innovation that you guys have. We love to spread the word.
Thank you, Paul.
Amazing things what our friends are doing over at CarePredict. I tell you, technology is really so important right now more than ever when it comes to keeping ourselves healthy, being able to communicate as we are social distancing and staying at home. And this is something that's truly helping us out and just being very invaluable at this time more than ever. Huge shout out again to Jerry Wilming from CarePredict. All right, when we get back, we're going to be joined by a tech expert, economist, and talk about how the economy has just been shaken at the core and if there is any light at the end of the tunnel. So when we get back, I'm sure you're going to enjoy that interview. Be right back after these messages.
In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the tech zone.